Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your favourite football fan channel made in Manchester. It's fucking Burnley. Let's go.
We want to play out, say we want to play out.
Yeah, stressed a bit, moving house. So yeah, for all the viewers, this will be the last time you see this background. There'll probably be a bit more messier one next time you see me, but I'm gonna try and build a nice little set because I've got my own space in an own room, nothing else in there, so should be pretty cool. But yeah, stressed, but it's good. It's good stress. Yeah.
Over the weekend, getting the beers and etc. So do leave a like on the video for us if you can. Get your comments in. I'm going to skip the warm-up. We're not doing a warm-up today because I just wanted to dive straight into the actual preview in itself. Both teams coming into this, Sam, pretty poor form. Burnley have only managed to pick up 1 point against Forest, as I just mentioned then. But I've lost the rest of their games. You could argue we've only really deserved to win one of the games that we played, and that was Nottingham Forest, because we came back from behind. But apart from that, the rest of them, the Wolves game we should have lost, and then the rest of them we pretty much have lost. So it's almost a relegation battle at this point. We're the bottom half of the table, second half of the table, and Burnley are at the bottom. So you've got this narrative of Vincent Kompany, ex-City player, looking to get one of his old rivals. You've got Ball versus Ball. It's away from home. It's at Burnley. A wet, windy night, if you will, if it is pissing it down. I'm not entirely sure. So there's a lot of kind of variables coming into this. How much of a crisis will this be if we lose this game?
I mean, the way the press are talking, we're already in that crisis, aren't we? Like, they're doing stories about Onana dropping his keys, because that's a relevant story that everybody needs to see, apparently. The guy, man drops his keys.
Yeah.
Front page news.
Fumble news, wasn't it?
Like, fucking hell.
Keys,
these people go, there's no media bias against United. Tell me there is. When this story's running like that, tell me there's no media bias against United.
Also, what sad cunt is waiting there to take a picture of Onana dropping his keys? Honestly, who's sat there?
But wait,
literally a picture of him again.
Wait, have we got a story about Haaland stubbing his toe on the bathtub? No, none of that shit. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. This
is weird, isn't it?
I wish I could switch off the press coverage, because it would just be so much easier to go, all right, we played shit next game, but it's damn near impossible because of what we do with the content and stuff like that. But yeah, it seems like, according to the press, United are already in crisis. Ten Hag is under pressure. Players are leaking shit. We're on a losing skid. The takeover may or may not be happening. They want 10, but everything that could go wrong is going wrong at Man United right now. At least under the first bit under Ten Hag, everything was going wrong, but at least we were winning and we won a trophy. Now even the football's not doing well. So if you look at things from the outside perspective and you don't sort of look at the sort of factors that are causing it and the things that have happened, then yeah, you would say we're in crisis already, regardless of this result, wouldn't you? So.
Well, out of the things you mentioned, in your mind, if you was to cherry pick the most concerning thing for you on the pitch, we obviously know what the most concerning thing is off the pitch, but on the pitch, what's the most concerning thing for you that we need to address?
Mentality and lack of effort. It just seems like we play well. How many games have we played well for 20 minutes and then just conceded?
Every game, I think.
And then gone, fuck it. Can't be asked.
Apart from the Forest one. The Forest one's a bit of one of them, but...
honest to God, it's just 20 minutes against Spurs, concede, can't be asked for that. 20 minutes against Bayern Munich, concede, can't be bothered. It's just, and then just evidence of players just not doing their jobs, and then players who are Scott McTominay. I think that's criminal what he did. He comes on as a sub. He's not even playing 90 minutes. He's come on as a sub, and he sees his man, gets dispossessed, and just jogs across the halfway line.
The ref was quicker than him, wasn't he?
Fucking Bruno was ahead of him and fucking sprinted back to try and make the tackle. So that's a big problem. And then players who are top sort of performers and players who did exceptionally well last season, like Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Rashford, Bruno, they're all out of form. They're all terrible in a minute. Like, not a single one of them is performing anywhere near the level that they need to be. I know Casemiro got 2 goals, but up until that point, he was terrible. Like, he was awful. Like, he was losing the ball, getting pushed off it. It looks like he's looked at that Saudi move and gone, oh, I should have got a piece of that. I should have just gone pain and gone, like, basically semi-retired like everybody else has. So, yeah, that's the concerning factor. And then the new goalkeeper, for the most part, I think he's been solid, but that mistake is just, that's worrying. That's worrying. That something's getting in his head. Is something getting in his head? His defense making him very not confident in his defense. So then he's worrying about stuff, and that's got like, so yeah, the lack of mentality, lack of fight from players, and the effort, and then the players who we relied upon last season and not performing. They're the sort of probably 2, and then injuries. There's a 3 in it. They're the sort of 3 things that are just basically causing us a lot of issues at the minute.
Issue is with Manchester United because everything's so highlighted on such a crazy kind of spectrum. Like, we are under the magnifying glass heavily, so any little thing that happens just gets blown out of proportion, as the Joker would famously say. The Onana thing, I mean, it's so reactionary to that. Some of the people coming out after
people saying drop him.
Is De Gea still a free? I think De Gea's thinking about retirement from everything I fucking see. Have you seen that story?
I want to say to these people who say, "Oh, De Gea wouldn't have done that." Why has no club picked him up?
Not one.
Answer me. Why not a single? Even Real Madrid had a fucking emergency point. They needed a goalkeeper so badly, and they were interested in De Gea a couple of years ago. Even they went, nah, we'll get Kepa, who is equally as error prone. Yes. Like, do you know what I mean? So all these De Gea like lovers who were saying, oh, they treated him badly, or he's a legend of the club, blah, blah. Nobody's picked him up. So clearly, like, all right, if you're saying we treat him badly, you pick him up. Your club get him then. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a ridiculous story, man. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I am slightly surprised because I still think, you think about a mid-table team like a Palace or something like that.
Real Betis.
Yeah, pick him up. So whether it's a wages thing or I don't know what it is, but the fact it's considering retirement, I mean, that's pretty fucking crazy.
But is he like 32, 33?
Yeah, I mean, his pension's probably all right with that wage he was on at Manchester United, so he could probably go off into the sunset and go to his Slipknot gigs, etc.
I mean, if he's worried about money, I'm sure Saudi's made an offer. Like, I'm positive of it. That's what I'm saying.
It said he turned down.
So why retire? Why not just, like, I know you want to play top level football, but nobody's coming in for you, right? Apparently,
maybe it's a morality thing.
No, I understand that, but like, let's not pretend football is above morality at this point. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the state of, like, there's a couple of players I can name on one hand, a couple of players who I think are upstanding moral people. Marcus Rashford for one, Juan Mata, those sort of people. The rest of them seem pretty much like dickheads to me. From all the evidence that's coming out about stuff with people. Apparently, there's a current player who's got a sexual charge at the minute just recently has come out, so it just seems like they're all
United or
no in the Premier League. If it was United, we know who it is. We'd know exactly who it is at United. So.
Yeah, I thought it was like a separate issue. No. Like, fuck
so like,
don't say that.
Do you know what I mean? So like, morality, but we're getting off track here. Like, I'm
we've got a bit of a tangent there. I wanted to actually talk about injuries because obviously that people are giving us shit, rival fans and pundits and ex-players and stuff. Because it's United again, we're under the microscope. But out of the players that are missing, who do you think we're missing the most?
Even though he's not played for us, I think Amrabat would have been extremely useful at this situation because I think we saw with Eriksen.
Oh God,
he's not built for physicality, man. Like, he just isn't. And against Bayern Munich, you see what they put in their tea at Bayern Munich. They're all just fucking units. Like, just complete.
It in the preview.
Yeah. Didn't we? And like, then you would think, all right, well, you do Scott McTominay instead because he provides that physicality, but he can't be asked because he came on and did absolutely fuck all. So you'd think, oh, Amrabat, technical bully, really good at passing, really good at breaking up play, gets involved, likes to tackle, that kind of stuff. You think he would have been extremely useful, not only against Bayern, but against Brighton as well, because they've got a very good sort of midfield going, even though they've lost their two best midfielders, which is stunning, by the way. They've lost Caicedo and McAllister, and they look better.
Caicedo has been shit at Chelsea as well since he's joined, which is scary, I thought.
So, like, I think he would have been really useful. I don't rate Mount. I know you like Mount, but I don't rate him, so I'm not going to say him. Varane probably would have been coming handy, because he seemed to be the one player that was playing well up until he got injured, didn't he? Like, he got a goal, for fuck's sake. And he looked assured, he looked back to his best, and I think he probably would have provided that sort of shored up next to Lissandro, I think, and I think that would have maybe helped us against Bayern, because he's played Bayern many times, played in Champions League. I think that would have been a thing. Maybe Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka had Mitoma on toast, didn't he, in the FA Cup. That probably would have helped us quite a lot. Maybe he would have been able to shut down. Who was on the... Gnabry, maybe he would have helped out, because I thought Reguilon did well, to be fair to him. So I think Wan-Bissaka might have been helpful there, but yeah, those would be the three I think would be useful. But Amrabat definitely. Our midfield just seems to be non-existent at this point, doesn't it? It just doesn't seem to bother doing anything defensively.
Well, there is context to it, because I think that back line is obviously the first time they've ever played a game together. Reguilon, Dalot, Lindelof and Lissandro. And then equally, the front three, Pellistri, Rasmus and Rashford, have never played together before as well. So there's obviously work that he's been doing on the training ground, and there's other things off the pitch that need to be solved. So it's not all... I don't think it is all doom and gloom, even though it's hard to not think like that in a minute, because with the results recently, I think every team goes through bad patches. This is certainly a bad patch, and you need to start with a win against Burnley. I actually want to focus a little bit on Burnley. I was looking at their Burnley. I don't know who Burnley is. I was on Burnley. I was looking at the form before. So they played Villa, City, Spurs, and Forest so far, conceding 12 and scoring 4, which is funny because we've conceded 10 and scored 5. So it's actually a very, very similar record in a painful way. With them being so dominant in the Championship last season, have they surprised you? How bad they've been, I'd say. I don't know. Since they've come up.
I think the gap in the Championship and the Premier League is so massive, isn't it? Like it feels like there should be a league in between for like the sort of Burnleys, the Norwiches, the
yo-yo clubs, basically.
Yeah, all the clubs that just come up and down all the time. There needs to be a league in between for them, because they're too good for the Championship and just absolutely dominate. Because there's some fucking dross in the Championship. Let's be right about it. Like there's some terrible teams in there, but then when they come up, there's just such a step up. And I think unless you've got like really solid way of playing and defined players and stuff like that, like Brighton came up a few years ago, and they've just been a fixtures, and they've just evolved as it's gone on and just got better and better and better and better. And then other like Wolves came up and progressed for a while, and then I thought they were like, after they lost everybody, I thought they were going to regress, but they seem to be doing quite well, to be fair to them. So that's me wrong on that. So I think you have to have solid players, a solid like team and togetherness and a way of playing. And I think Kompany has one of those. He's clearly got a defined way of playing, and he wants to play a certain way. But they got quite a few players in, didn't they, in the summer? Like they got quite a lot. So maybe that's unsettled the team a little bit. The step up is really, really high, and I think the way he played in the Championship probably isn't going to be as suitable in the Premier League unless you've got top players. Like he wants to play like City, but he hasn't got the players like City, so he can't do it. Similar to Ten Hag, like when Ten Hag first came in last season, he wanted to play his system, and then he realised he hasn't got the goalkeeper for it. He hasn't got the back line to play, so he had to change and switch it up and play differently. And I think that's what Kompany's finding out here. And to be fair to him, he seems to be sticking to his principles. He doesn't seem to be changing things much.
Do you think that's naive?
It's either naive or you've got to admire his sort of fortitude and his commitment to it, haven't you? Like, there's a lot of managers who do that, isn't there? They're like, no, this is how I play, and that's what's going to happen. Pep does it. De Zerbi, I know they got beat.
Bielsa did it with Leeds, didn't he? And you saw what happened there. Like, just didn't work out at all. De
Zerbi has his, and it's worked out well for him, but they got unstuck against Athens last night, which shows, like, you know what I mean? So not every system's perfect, like it thing. So is what it is. But yeah, if there was one team I wanted to play, well, there's two teams that I probably wanted to play if we wanted to get a win. It'd be Burnley and Sheffield United, wouldn't it? Or Luton, maybe. Yeah. They're the three you want to play at the minute because that seems like the most likely thing. Every other team seems to be able to absolutely smash us. So it's yeah.
Well, funnily enough, I was just about to ask you. Obviously, it's not the 4-4-2, Sean Dyche, long ball, fucking, aerial duels, all that kind of stuff. It's different under Company. But which team would you rather be coming up against now? Would you rather be coming up against that Burnley or this one under Company?
I think
I just have that Jay Rodriguez goal in the back of my head when he scored that world there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
There's two sides to it, innit? Because we're really bad at breaking down low block teams, aren't we? Like we're terrible at it. Like we've never been good at it. We just pass it around side to side and just hope that we find a gap and then nothing happens and it's just terrible. And then they'll get a counter and score or score from a corner or something like that, and then we lose 1-0. It's not what happens. You'd think with the Company system, there might be, because they like to press, like to push up, maybe there's some gaps, maybe some openings that we could play with. But then again, the way we're playing, unless we score in the first 20 minutes, I don't have confidence in us playing for 45 minutes and getting a goal because their system is open. So it could go either way in it. It's just like, do you want a low block and you probably won't concede? So you get a 0-0 draw, or do you want a more open game and there's more chance to score, but if we concede after 20 minutes, our Reds will go down and we'll just fucking give in. That's kind of where we're at the minute, innit?
Well, I watched the game against Nottingham Forest last week just because I knew we was playing them next, so I wanted to have a look at how they was playing and who kind of stood out. And they have a young player called Coley Shaw, Italian winger, looked really, really dangerous every time he got it. And one of the issues in the Bayern Munich game, I thought, Gnabry and Sané were running riot every time they picked up the ball. And the dynamic wingers, the quick speed, good on the ball, and that's something that worries me. Do you think defensively the reason why we're so flaky, do you think it's the fact of the back line, or do you think it's more the midfield who aren't tracking the runners?
I think it's a bit of both. Like, I think the back line's unsettled, isn't it? Because, like you said, that was the first time that back line played together. Yeah. Region is a lone player. Like, he seems to be fucking committed. Fair play to him. Like, he seems to give a shit.
Surprised me.
I like. A lot regularly. Like, I didn't expect this out of him. But again, like, how far can he go? He wasn't playing at Spurs. He was on loan. Like, he went on loan he went somewhere anyway last season. So like, how good it actually. But to be fair to him, he's been decent. I think. Yeah. But yeah, the midfield defensively, like, I think Ten Hag said something really interesting in the press conference. He said it's not just on the goalkeeper, it's not just on the defence, it's on everybody, the whole 11. Because if 2-3 people don't do it, we fold like a deck of cards, and that's clearly his system. Like, his system is everybody has to work, everybody has to press, and if you don't, the system fails. And we've seen it time and time again. 20 minutes, everybody's pressing, everybody's doing their jobs, and we look great. With creating chances, defensively sound, and then one or two people will just not do their jobs, and then the whole system just goes to shit. And
just on the pressing thing, Sam, like, there's a bit of a debate at the minute with Marcus Rashford, right? So some people are saying they think it's tactically Ten Hag's leaving him as like the last man, for that counter attack when we do pick it up. That's why he's not tracking back. Do you think it's a bit of laziness? Do you think, what's your opinion on the Rashford off the ball situation?
I've seen stuff like that where they've said you can't have every single player pressing, because then if everybody's pressing, once you get a turnover, you need an outlet. You need somebody to be able to ping the ball out to, which is what Ten Hag wants to do. He wants to be the best transition team in the world. And in a transition, it's all about the turnover. Once you regain possession of the ball, you need an outlet. You need to go quickly, and you need to get to the goal as quickly as possible in a short amount of time, in a short amount of passes as possible. And that's what Ten Hag.
Yeah. Remember when Ragnick came in?
Yeah, that's what Ten Hag wants to do. So the theory holds water that they want Rashford as that outlet because he's the quickest. He's great with a ball in behind. He's great at running at defenders. That's his whole strength. So the whole theory makes sense. Do I think he can work harder? Absolutely. I do. Like, I think he can work harder. He doesn't have to press like all the way to the back line and be like a wing back, stuff like that. But I see it when there's a defender with the ball 5 yards in front of him and he's just not
walking a bit.
Do you know what I mean? Just put him under a little bit of pressure. You don't have to fucking like hug him and grab hold of him, but just put him under a little bit of pressure, just so the defender thinks, like, where am I going to go here? And it puts a little bit of doubt in mind. I think, even if it's just for show, I think fans and people and all that would think, okay, he's giving it a go, he's trying. So I think that has to come into it. But I do see theory in the system that he's going to be your outlet. But there's other players who need to be doing that and aren't doing that. So I think Casemiro's being isolated. So clearly his midfielders, Eriksen, not good enough physically, not been able to think. So Casemiro's being left isolated. Bruno's obviously pushing up. He gets back. But like, if he's running up and down, which I know he can do all the time, it's like, how useful is that when you need somebody in the transition? And then I think, that's where Amrabat comes in. He's going to do that pressing. He's going to be able to bully people, help Casemiro out, and then push up with Bruno and help that out. So hopefully that changes if Amrabat comes into the team. But I think the midfield is key, and that's clearly where we're failing at the minute with this pressing system. Because I think if Eriksen's unable to or can't, that's a massive gap in there. And then Casemiro gets isolated. He doesn't seem like he's got the legs. And then that makes then Lindelof shaky. And I don't know what's happened to Lissandro. Honest to God. No idea what's happened to him, because he looks terrible as well. So
dropped off, hasn't he? Really dropped off. I mean, he showed a little bit of brilliance in the I don't know if you remember it, where he beat like two men, did a bit of a thing there, and that shows what he's good at. He's press resistant. He's fantastic on the ball, but even with the ball, I'm not seeing him playing enough. I think
defensively, it's defensively, Lissandro. He got done for a duck, Pascal Gross. Like, he went snapped his ankles. He went there. I think he was at fault for. I think when the ball came over for that Musiala goal, I think.
Musiala, I think it was.
Yeah, he was at fault there. So defensively he's looked shite, like really, really bad.
It's a strange one. Makes you wonder about, is he still injured? Is he probably out?
He keeps getting taken off, doesn't he? Like after 60, 70 minutes. So is he fit? Is that the issue? Like,
I think it'll come out that it might not be, but they don't want to put that out there because obviously teams that are targeting will know. So maybe they're keeping it under wraps a little bit, and obviously if he goes, then Maguire or fucking Johnny Evans are back into the team, and it's like, I'd rather play an injured Lissandro. We're sure
out till apparently after the international break in November as well.
And Wan-Bissaka as well, isn't it?
Well, Wan-Bissaka's only for like 2 months, I think, so he could be back before it, but apparently Shaw's definitely out until after November. So
not good at all. Right, we'll move on to some quick fire questions. Tomorrow night, Burnley versus Man United at Turf Moor in the Premier League. Will United score more than 2? No, I don't think so. I think we'll score 1. I'll join in with this because there's 2 of us. Will Rasmus Højlund score?
No.
I agree. I don't think he will either. Will there be a penalty or VAR decision?
I mean, it seems like there is one every fucking week at this point, doesn't it? So I'll say yes, because it just seems inevitable at this point.
Yes, also agree. Will Burnley score?
Yeah.
I don't think they will. Will Amrabat start?
No.
I don't think he'll start either. No. I think he'll be on the bench at a push. And your prediction for man of the match, please. Mind squanders.
Reguilon,
probably. Yeah, he's been our best player the last 2 games, hasn't he? Fair.
Yeah.
I'll go with something different just because you gone with Reguilon. Fucking hell. I think Casemiro might step up a performance. I'm hoping he does anyway. Even though he scored 2 in the last game, feels weird saying step up performance, but he wasn't great actually overall in the game, in my personal opinion. So
Shreyas is saying our first clean sheet incoming. I think our best performing. It has to be. I mean, I wish I could be as optimistic as you, Shreyas. I really do. He said, I think Ten Hag, we've been much better. Go up against teams playing a low block. Last season, pretty consistent against those teams. Is Amrabat back? No idea. He's in training, so could be. Yeah. Be interested to see how Amrabat does in a Premiership. That's scoreboard as well. So yeah, people are interested in Amrabat.
Well, let's talk about the lineups then. Who've you gone for your predicted 11s?
Let me get them up on the screen. Oh shit, I've not done that. Sorry, everybody. Let me just hide your username. So that could have been very embarrassing.
Who do we think, when people who are watching it live or watching it later on, who do you see in your predicted 11s? Let us know in the comments section, please.
Well, while doing it, I'll put yours up on screen. So you talk me through yours while I'm sorting this out.
Obviously, Andre Onana again. He's not going to drop him because of one stupid mistake. He's the #1 go-to goalkeeper. Obviously, if it continues to happen, then he will drop. But Onana in net, I think, hoping and praying Varane comes back into that back line. Not like Lindelof has been awful, but I just want Varane a bit of leadership. I think he's missing that defence. So Delo, Varane, Lissandro, Reguilon, who's been fantastic. The midfield, I don't think Amrabat will start. I don't think he's ready to start. I think he'll have an impact off the bench. So I feel like he might go with Eriksen again, which I really don't want to see. But no. I think he might go with him and Bruno Fernandes. And then Pellistri on the right, maybe a consecutive game. So I think he was okay. And Bayern, Højlund and Rashford. I think, to be honest, it won't be too far away from that. I don't think yours. Is it too far away from what
I think I've got one change, I think.
Yeah,
one change there.
We haven't really got options to change a lot. You just don't know who's going to be fit. Mount might surprise you, but apparently he's out till next week. So, I don't know. But that's what I'm going with anyway.
Speaking of Mount, I've put Mount in the team because the training, he said Mount's in training, Amrabat's in training, and Varane, he said he's been out the shortest amount of time. So, I think Varane will start. So, that seems to be the reason. So, I've gone the same back line as you, same midfield as you, but I've put Mount in on the right-hand side. Just because he's clearly a Ten Hag player. He's bought him. He used him in every single game up until he got injured. So, and then there's been a lot of sort of press coverage saying he's going to replace Anthony because we don't know how long Anthony's going to be out. It could be months, could be the season. We don't know. And obviously, this ongoing situation with Jadon Sancho. So I think, and he's played there before for Chelsea, I believe. I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see him out on that right hand side. I think it'd be good.
So
I think it'd be useful then.
I think he might chuck him in. He probably won't play 90 minutes because obviously he's been out injured. So maybe he comes off at 65, 70 minutes and Pellistri gets a run out and gets to sort of do that in the last 20 minutes or so. So yeah, that's my team.
Yeah. Get your predicted 11s, please, in the chat if you haven't done already. We're going to dive into the score predictions now. What do you reckon, Sam?
I really, it's hard to be positive. Honestly, God, it's really hard to be positive.
Yeah.
I think we get beat 1-0. Yeah. I think it's going to be. It's going to be. I think it's going to be an awful game. This. I think it's going to be a terrible game. Like I think Ten Hag is just going to go. We cannot concede, and he's just going to set it up so we do not concede. And I think they'll sneak a goal either on like a corner or something like that. They'll get some stuffy goal, and that'll be the end of it. And it's. I don't want to say this. I really, really hope I'm wrong. Please, hope to God that I'm wrong.
Well,
but,
they're absolutely scrapping for points.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
Exactly.
They're dying for a win. It's at Turf Moor. You got United coming into town. It's like, oh God. Oh yeah, it's slightly worrying. I'll be a little bit more positive. I'll go. I think 1-0 and a scruffy goal. I don't know who. Off a defender, I imagine from a corner, or a set piece. I don't see this being like a 5-1 or anything like that. I really, really don't. So I will go with a scruffy goal to us. Who scores it? I don't care.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't care if it comes off the referee's arse. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever it takes. Get it in the net. I don't care. Shreyas is saying graphic looks cool. Thank you, brother. Lucky saying you should win. I fucking hope so. Shreyas, 3-0. Pellistri and Højlund, please. Fucking hell, Shreyas. Your positivity is insane. Scoreboard, luckily, I don't think we'll need our best performance to beat Burnley. Shah Sam saying, Højlund hat-trick, we must smash Burnley. Whatever these lads are taking, I want some of it because it seems to be really positive. Tim99 predicting 4-2 to United. I mean, I hope it's that exciting. Trey says he's trolling. He says he really thinks 2-1. Højlund and Pellistri getting there first in the Premier League. Callum saying Amrabat debut Sunday. Neo Tshidisot. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I could say it.
We are going to win. Remember this. I hope you're right, mate. And then Lucky Singh saying 2-0 to us. So there you go.
Well,
people are positive. People are positive.
I love it. And I'll take it into the watch along with me. I will be live for a night at this time, literally in 24 hours time from now, with the team lineup. So make sure you come and join me, get involved, let me know your thoughts on the team selection. and we'll go through the game together. Make sure you drop us a follow on socials as well: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Real Reds Talk. If you aren't already following us, and whilst we've got the members in the chat as well, let me know what you thought of the 2 videos that we dropped this week. If you're a fan, if you want more content like that, or if you want us to switch it up or whatever it is, it's your membership. So tell us what you want, and we'll happily abide and put some different kind of content out for you guys. Yeah, what day are we on today? We have Friday. We have the Ten Hag Presser preview. So obviously we'll have the game tomorrow. Probably be a news show at 12 as well. We'll have the review after the game, and then Sunday will be a bit of a Sunday social and stuff like that. Prabhav in the chat. Hello, Prabhav. I hope you're good, mate. And
shout out to all
something. Great videos. Yeah, legend.
Shout out to all the members. Tim, Shah, Prabhav, anyone else who's in the chat who's not said anything. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are the reason why we keep doing this, so really, really appreciate every single one of you. And I think we can leave the preview at that. Let's see what happens at Turf Moor tomorrow. Hopefully, you guys are right with your predictions and we're wrong, even though I went with a scruffy 1-0 win. But I hope
I'll take any sort of win. I'll take it. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Just any sort of win is acceptable. I don't think. Yeah. Prabhav, shout out to all you. Benfield's dreadful news cycle. I mean, mate, honestly, God. It's just opening Twitter any time of the day. It's just like, what now? What's happened now? It's horrible.
It's not great. Not great. Let's see what tomorrow brings. There's probably more drama before the game as well. So, yeah, look forward to that. I'll see you guys for the news show tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And then, obviously, for the game, the watch-along live at Turf Moor from 7 o'clock lineup. So, come and join me. And, yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. See you in a bit.
Peace.
Say we won't play so.